All right, let's dive right in. We're taking a deep dive today into the world of Ferrari's latest creation, the F80. You guys brought along some articles, and honestly, the hype is real with this hypercar. I mean, where do we even begin? $3.9 million, dollars, only 799 being made, a 1,200 horsepower hybrid engine. Ferrari's really pushing the limits this time.
Yeah, what's really interesting about the F80 is that it's not just a car, it's a statement. We're talking about the peak of automotive performance and exclusivity, which is, when you get down to it, what that term hypercar really means.
Mhm.
And limiting it to just 799 units, Ferrari's playing the exclusivity game, and that's a strategy straight out of the luxury market playbook.
Totally. And you know what I found fascinating in one of the articles you sent? This whole tactic of limiting production, it actually has roots in racing history. Brands like Ferrari, they used to have to make a certain number of road legal cars to meet racing regulations. It's crazy to think that something as legendary as the Ferrari GTO, which was also limited edition, came about because of those rules.
It really adds another layer, doesn't it? That historical context just makes the F80 even more intriguing. Speaking of intriguing, are you ready to pop the hood on this thing, so to speak? Let's talk about what's underneath that sleek exterior.
Oh, absolutely. I'm all ears. From what I've seen, this thing is practically a Formula One car disguised for the road.
You're not wrong. Ferrari's taken some serious inspiration from Formula One technology for the F80. And I'm not even just talking about the hybrid system here. We're talking materials, like what they use in their Le Mans race cars, to keep the weight down and the performance high.
Okay, so let's talk about that hybrid V6 engine for a sec.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, I get the hybrid tech is kind of taking over, and all the articles are praising the F80's power. But there's a part of me that wonders, wouldn't a, roaring V8 or even a V12 like they have in the LaFerrari be a better fit for a Ferrari? That classic, powerful sound.
It's an interesting point. And it speaks to a debate that's going on right now in the car world. Yeah, historically, bigger engines meant more power, especially for a brand like Ferrari, right? But you have to remember, this V6, it's not just any V6. It's directly descended from their Le Mans racing program.
So they basically bottled up their racing expertise and poured it into this new engine. That's pretty awesome. But I gotta ask, does it really outperform the bigger guys?
Now that's where it gets really interesting. From the articles, you're looking at a 0 to 60 time of under 2.5 seconds. That's even faster than the legendary Enzo.
Yeah.
Plus, that smaller size, it actually helps them create better weight distribution and efficiency, which are crucial for handling, agility, all that good stuff.
So we're talking about a car that's not just powerful, it's actually smart about how it uses that power, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not just brute force. It's about precision engineering.
Which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. And speaking of pushing the boundaries, one of the articles mentions something called active aero. What is that exactly, and how does that work on the F80?
Okay, so active aero. This is where it gets really cool. Imagine this. As the car speeds up, right, different aero elements, we're talking the rear wing, even parts of the underbody, they actually adjust their position, like in real time. And that creates downforce, pushing the car onto the road for more stability, more grip, especially at high speeds.
Wow, so it's literally changing its shape to kind of cheat the wind. That's insane.
Yeah, it's like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's happening right now. At 155 miles per hour, the F80's active aero generates 2,200 pounds of downforce.
2,200 pounds. That's wild, like driving with a grand piano strapped to the roof or something. No wonder they call this thing a hypercar.
It's a true testament to what's possible when you combine cutting-edge tech with brilliant engineering.
Totally. So we've got mind-blowing tech, crazy performance, but you also said earlier that the F80 is a statement. One of the articles even called it the ultimate collector's item. What makes them say that?
Well, you've got the exclusivity factor, right? Only 799 of these are ever going to exist. Owning one puts you in a very, very small club. And as we've talked about, Ferrari has a bit of a track record when it comes to creating cars that become incredibly valuable over time.
True. The article actually quoted Ethan Gibson of RM Sotheby's. He said, "Rarity always drives demand and value, and as Ferrari's latest halo car, the F80 is no exception." Now, I get the rarity part, but what exactly does he mean by halo car?
Think of a halo car as the crown jewel of the brand. It's the car that showcases the absolute best of what they can do. We're not even just talking about sales numbers here. It's about making a statement. Think about it like the Ferrari F40 or the Enzo. Those weren't just great cars. They were statements that solidified Ferrari's place at the top of the automotive world.
Yeah, and now these halo cars are basically legendary, right? People are paying insane amounts for them these days. So you're saying if someone's lucky enough to snag an F80, they might be sitting on a gold mine down the road.
It's definitely a possibility. But let's be real. There's more to a car than just numbers and investment potential, right? I mean, how does this thing actually look on the road?
Oh, right. Give me all the details. How would you describe it?
It's almost like if a stealth fighter jet and a futuristic sculpture had a baby, you know? The articles were saying things like aggressive, futuristic with squared off vertical arrow elements and a blacked out headlight band. It's designed to turn heads, that's for sure.
Okay, wow. Yeah, those descriptions definitely paint a picture. And it sounds like the design isn't just about looks either. One of the things that really jumped out at me was this idea of form following function.
Right, exactly. Ferrari's designers were very clear about that. Every single curve, every vent, every little detail in the F80 has a purpose. It's there for a reason. Take those notched vents and ducts, for example. Those weren't just put there to look cool. They actually channel airflow to improve downforce and cooling, which directly affects the car's performance.
So it's not just about looking fast, it's about being fast, right? Form following function,
Yeah.
pushing the limits of car design. That's awesome.
That's where the F80 really sets itself apart. Take the McLaren W1, for example, another hybrid hypercar that's aiming
Yeah.
for that top spot. Yeah, they're both incredibly powerful, incredibly advanced. But the F80 has something else going for it.
Yeah.
Ferrari has this heritage, this history of building cars that are about pure emotion, pure desire. And you can't just manufacture that.
Right, it's that certain something, that Ferrari magic.
It's that history, that pedigree that really sets Ferrari apart. You're not just buying a car, you're buying into a legacy.
Yeah.
A legacy of pushing the limits, defying expectations on the track and off. And I think the F80, embracing hybrid tech in a hypercar like this, it's a perfect example of that.
Yeah, I totally see that. You mentioned the McLaren W1 earlier, another hybrid hypercar. It seems like even at the very top, the really high-end performance cars, the whole industry is kind of going in this hybrid direction. Do you think that's going to make for a better driving experience? Or will it take away from that raw, visceral feeling that Ferraris are known for?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The whole car world is talking about this. I mean, on the one hand, you've got the potential for even more power, even more efficiency. We could be talking about speeds and agility we haven't even dreamed of yet.
Right, it's like a whole new world of possibilities.
Exactly. But then there's the other side of it. That feeling of a powerful engine, that roar, that connection between you and the machine. Some people say you just can't replicate that with anything else.
I can see that. It's got to be something special to get behind the wheel of a car like that.
Oh, absolutely.
But then I imagine there's a certain beauty, a certain poetry in motion when you see a car like the F80 with all its advanced tech just gliding effortlessly down a winding road. It's like a dance between technology and design.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating, right? Cars like the F80, they're kind of a bridge between the raw power of the past and this new future, this high-tech future of driving.
So we're not just talking about a new Ferrari here, we're talking about a whole new era for cars.
Exactly.
We've talked about the tech, the design, the investment potential, but I think you're right. The most interesting thing about the F80 is what it represents. It's a bold step into the future.
A bold step, yeah. And it leaves us with a lot to think about. As we move into this new era of cars, hybrid engines, electric engines, they're becoming more and more common even at the highest levels. It really makes you wonder, what will a driver's car even mean in the future? Will it be that raw, visceral feeling? Or will it be something totally new, something like the F80, with all its technology and performance seamlessly blended together?
It's a question that's going to keep car enthusiasts debating for years to come, I think. And that's what makes it so interesting. The F80, it's not just a car, it's a conversation starter. And that's what we love about cars, isn't it? They get people talking, they get people excited. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Ferrari's latest masterpiece. It's been a wild ride.